Okay, so in this video we are going to be rebuilding this 1.5 TDCi Ford Focus engine. Let's get started. So a little bit of a backstory with this one. We bought it as a no crank, no start. Fault codes were showing camshaft position sensor and camshaft position sensor, which says to me that the timing belt had snapped. So we knew that the timing belt had snapped before we bought the engine. Upon stripping it down, we seen that all the roller bearings were smashed, and we had a lovely valve stuck in the top of the piston. So we've stripped it all down. We're going to put new piston rings in, new big end bearings, get the sump back on, and yeah, that's going to be the first job. First job's going to be, we're going to hone out the cylinders a bit, get them cleaned up, get a nice cross hatch on it, and then we're going to get the pistons in. Okay, so that's done. They're looking okay. At the end of the day, it's not a Formula 1 engine, so we're not going OTT, but I think that'll do the job. Next job is going to be getting the pistons in, and this one is going to be particularly difficult because the exhaust's in the way to get the end caps on. So I'm going to do that one first, and we'll come back once all 4 pistons are in with the new rings and bearings. Right. I am not going to lie, that was a nightmare. Piston rings didn't come gapped, so we've had to cut all them to size. Yeah, so let's get everything torqued up on the bottom side, and then we can get the sump and the oil pickup and the oil dipstick pipe on. Right, so have a look at them pistons out. So we've managed to get them all in. We've had to gap the piston rings, we've got the sump on, we've got the oil pickup on, and we've got the dipstick pipe on. So next we're going to get top dead centre on cylinder 1, which is there, and then we're going to get the cylinder head on. Let's get started. The cylinder head is on, all torqued up. So just got to nip this manifold up, and then we can get the turbo and the DPF and try and get all the front end buttoned up before we tackle the back. Okay, so turbo's in, heat shield's on next, and get that alternator bolted in. Okay, so heat shields are on, top and bottom. Next job is going to be the thermostat housing. Get the pipes on the EGR cooler and the bottom camshaft housing, and then we can get the injectors and the glow plugs in. Let's get that done. Right, that's the thermostat housing in with a new gasket. The lifters and rollers are in. That's all torqued down. So next job's going to be the fuel injectors and the glow plugs, and then I can start getting the fuel system sorted then. Right, that's the fuel injectors in, glow plugs in, and the harness on for that. So next job will be to get the EGR finished off, get that little bolt there attached to the block, which is a nightmare. New gasket on that, and that bracket on there, and then I can get the fuel pipes on. Cool. Change of plan. We put the rollers and the lifters in so that I can get the fuel pump assembly in, fuel filter assembly in, and then I can get the fuel system done. Let's go. That EGR pipes in. That bolt was a nightmare to get in until I remembered I had one of these, which was absolutely brilliant. Straight on there, dead easy. Best 10 quid on Amazon ever. Okay, that's the fuel system all in. New fuel filter, new gaskets everywhere. Injectors all connected. EGR pipes are all on, everything's buttoned up. So next thing is the water pump and timing chain. timing belt. Okay, so water pump is in, belt is on, tensioned up, so I'm going to take the timing pins out. I've already took the fuel pump timing pin out, but that's bang in the middle. So let's take these timing pins out, spin it over half a dozen times and see if they all go back in. So that's been spun round. Let's get the top one in. Yep. Yep, that's perfect. Right, so timing's good. Next job, let's get all the top built up, rocker cover on, and engine mount. Right, we're getting somewhere now. So all the boost hoses and air pipes and all that malarkey's on. Just getting the cam covers on now, so you got to put the bottom cam cover on first and put this on at the same time before you can put the top one on. So we're going to get that done, and then the engine will be sitting on its own mount. Auxiliary belt, tighten up the pulley on the crank, and then we can go for a start. Well, we can turn it over and get some oil pressure. So we have got everything buttoned up on the top, cam covers are on, we've got water in, we've got oil in, and we've run into a bit of an issue. So the camshaft sensor bolt is snapped, so I can't do anything until I get that out, and it's becoming a little bit of a nightmare. So let's pick up once that bolt is out. Alright, so I have drilled that out and re-tapped and put a new bolt in with a touch of blue thread lock, so hopefully that does the job. So next job's going to be getting this pulley on, getting that torqued up, and then we can go for a crank. Right, that's in. Just put the old belt on for now. I'll put the new belt on once everything's buttoned up. Leave that crank sensor out. Let's get some oil pressure. Okay, it's ready to go. Alright, so we're turning over nicely. So we'll give it one more whirl, then we'll check for leaks. Okay. Right, let's get that crank sensor out. Okie doke. We've connected the camshaft sensor back up. I've got a feeling I'm going to have a fuel problem though. I think it might be airlocked, but let's see. Yeah, starter motor's not turning now. Have I burnt the starter motor out while cranking it too much? Right, let's have a look. Yeah, well, that went well. I burnt the starter motor out by cranking it too much. So, my mistake. Yeah, that one's toast, so I'm getting that repaired on Monday, and we'll pick up from there. Right, we have a reconditioned starter, so let's get that wax back in there and take it from there. So let's try again and see what happens. Starter motor's in. I wasn't expecting that. Let's check for leaks. seems to be running lovely. Wow, that is running really smooth. Perfect. Right, let's bleed the water system. So, been running for 5-10 minutes. No warning lights, all seems good. So, next job, we're going to be doing the brakes tomorrow, and I'm going to break down the costs of how much it's cost and whether it's been worth fixing it rather than just getting a replacement engine. Thanks for watching.